What an amazing 2 weeks of tennis we got at the United States Open in New York City. Yeah, I decided that I was gonna do a video after the tournament ended. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts about it. I'm gonna talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then I'm gonna go through my picks and see what I got right and what I got wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to make this video too long. The first big thing when the U.S. Open started was Serena Williams. That was the first big thing in this year's. And then it was announced that this would be her final tournament in tennis of her career. Remember, she was absent for like a whole year in tennis, from Wimbledon 2021 to Wimbledon 2022. That's a whole year. A whole year without playing, I did saw the match when Serena came back at Wimbledon. She looked great. That match was like 3 hours. I wish she won, but it was her first match back, so. And then she played a few more matches. It wasn't many. Because, between Wimbledon and U.S. Open, it's not many. That's not much time. It's just, a couple of weeks. So, yeah, about a month and a half. So then, she played the first day, Monday. And, we all knew it would be at prime time. And I thought she would lose the first match. I thought she would. But she won. She won the first match. The crowd was so loud. They had a special ceremony for her. I was glad she won. I wanted her to win at least one match at New York. So, and then it was also announced that her and her sister Venus were going to play doubles together. They're back together. I think it's been like 6 years since the last time they played doubles together. 6 years. Now, they were great in doubles. They won a bunch of Grand Slam finals, Olympic gold medals. They're great. And then her second match, I thought for sure she would lose against the number 2 player in the world, But somehow she got past that match as well. Crowd was on their feet. Tiger Woods was there with the Williams family, I think Mike Tyson was also there too. He was in one of those matches. So that was Wednesday, because you get a day off in between the matches. And then Thursday was the first day of women's doubles. And Serena and her sister Venus were playing. And it was also in prime time. Yeah, all of Serena's matches were at Arthur Ashe Stadium and at 7 o'clock Eastern. So that was great. That doubles match I did saw. They actually did not look that bad. They had a chance at winning that match, but they kind of fell flat, kind of near the end. But it was a pretty long doubles match, like over 2 hours. So it was great to see them back together for one last time. Again, the crowd showing their support. And then Friday came, which was Serena's last match. Yeah. It's kind of sad when you say last match, But see, when Friday came, I didn't really watch much of that match because my brother came for a visit for his birthday. We were eating dinner, so I didn't kept my eye on the match most of the time. I did kind of check the score once in a while. Like it looked like Serena was going to win the first set, but somehow she lost that first set. It was a close one. Then she won the second set, and I'm like, wow, this match is getting long again. Can she win another match? Turns out that third and final set, she didn't look well. She didn't look so good, and it was against an Australian player. So, but hey, Serena gave everything she got. She says she's got nothing to prove. She's just being herself. So, congratulations. Seriously, probably the greatest of all time. Most people say she's the greatest player in women's tennis ever. I would put her up there with Steffi Graf and Martina Navratilova. That's my top three. That's my top three. So, yeah. So, it was great to see her back one more time. Her sister Venus, she's not retiring yet. She might go one more year, and she's even older. She's 42. Serena's about to be 41. So, yeah. Did you know Serena, she first won her first Grand Slam title? It was at the US Open 1999. Before I was born. Crazy, right? I know. Man. She just dominated the 2000s. I think her best year ever, this is my opinion, but I think her best year ever was 2012. The summer of 2012, because it was one of her best years ever, but probably her best summer ever was 2012 because she won Wimbledon singles and doubles, and yeah, the Olympics were also in 2012 in London. Same venue, center court, right? The Olympics was what, like a couple of weeks after Wimbledon? And Serena won the gold medal in both singles and doubles. That's amazing. I mean, that's crazy. You win singles and doubles for Wimbledon and the Olympics in the same year. That's amazing, So, yeah, let me know. Forgot to mention this. I first started watching tennis in 2016. I was up early in the morning, I think. And I remember one of the first matches I saw was the Australian Open final, 2016, the women's final between Serena Williams and Angelique Kerber. At the time, I kind of know who Serena is. I've heard about her, but I did not know she won that many Grand Slam titles. I didn't know she won that many. How many did she win at the time? 21, I think? 21 or 20. Yeah. When I first watched a women's finals, she already had 20 Grand Slam titles. Like, whoa. Crazy. So, yeah, that was the first match I saw on television. But then I got really into it the following year in 2017 when Serena won her 23rd major. And she played against her sister, Venus. So that's historic right there. And then I got into it more and more and more. You know, I'm a pretty big tennis fan. I don't watch it all the time. I would watch the four majors and a few other tournaments that are also pretty big. Mostly hardcore tournaments, like the Miami Open. I like watching that because it's at Hard Rock Stadium, Indian Wells, stuff like that. So now I'm taking a break after this because, yeah. Anyway, now talked about Serena. We will miss her. We will miss Serena. It's sad, you know. I really wish she won one more Grand Slam title. You know, she was the runner-up at Wimbledon 2018 and 2019. Also the runner-up at the U.S. Open 2018 and 2019. Yeah. She could have won one of those four. If I had to pick one, she probably could have won U.S. Open 2019. It was against this Canadian girl, Bianca Andreescu. Yeah. She could have... That was the year that she could have won the whole thing in 2019. That was the year. Yeah. And ever since, I'm like, I don't know if she can ever win one more. You know? She's always so close at winning one more, and then she just fell short. You know? But hey, she's the greatest. You know? What can you say? There will never be another one like her. So. Alright. Wow, we're already 12 minutes in. I'm sorry this video's long. I was gonna do this video me talking about Serena after that match, her last match, but I just didn't have the time for it. I just thought, you know what? I might as well just save it all in one last big video. So. Anyway. Oh, and a lot of times when I watch the Grand Slam title matches, I would mostly watch women's tennis because of the upsets. There's always big upsets on the women's draw than the men's draw. I don't really watch men's tennis until like the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals. Yeah. You know, so I'm more of a fan of women's tennis because of the upsets. Like, that's their March Madness, you know? Like, I'll tell you a huge upset. Simona Halep, who's ranked in the top 10, got eliminated in the first round, and everyone thought she would go to the semis. And she just got eliminated. Crazy. You never know who's gonna who's gonna get eliminated this early. You know, it's happened so many times. Anyway, I have a lot of favorite tennis players. Maybe I can show you. I can show you a list of all my favorites on ESPN because you can actually follow athletes from the website, and then it's basically your favorites. So, and I have a lot of tennis favorites. All right. I guess the next thing I'll talk about will be the women's singles finals. Yes. Number one player in the world, Iga Swiatek versus number 5 in the world, I think. Or 4 in the world, I don't know. On Jabeur. So, I saw that match live. And I thought the match would go to 3 sets. If y'all saw that match, it sort of looked like it was going to head to a 3rd set. But it didn't. Iga pulled it away before having it gone to 3 sets. So, congratulations to the world number 1 player. I actually did pick her to win the whole thing. I picked her on here, which I'll show you later. So, oh well, you can already see it because it says correct at the bottom. So, I hope Ons wins a Grand Slam tournament because she was the runner-up at Wimbledon. I thought she would win Wimbledon, I'll be honest, but She's now number 2 in the world, so that's great for her. Great for her. Yeah, I hope she wins one year. I don't care what tournament she wins or what Grand Slam she wins. I hope it's, maybe next year. So, but she's great. And she actually played doubles with Serena at one of the tournaments in the USA. So it was before the US Open. Yeah. But yeah, Iga has won the US Open, and she's won the French Open, Roland Garros, twice. Yeah, she's already won 3 majors. It's crazy. Let's see here. Next, I guess I'll talk about the men's finals now. Oh, actually, before I talked about the men's finals, there's a few things I want to say. I think most of you can agree on me with this. About a week ago was like the round of 16 quarterfinals. I would love the finals at this year's to be Nick Kyrgios versus Frances Tiafoe. I think most of you guys can agree on that. We would love to see that match. Nick Kyrgios versus Frances Tiafoe. I would love to see that match. I wanted Nick to go to the finals. I wanted Frances to go to the finals because, the crowd cheers for them both, And if you don't know, remember a few years ago Nick was being overly dramatic. He's not really like that. Although, after he lost his quarterfinal match, he was smashing rackets because it was a long match. It went into 5 sets. I thought he would win that match. But it was so close, man, And I saw that press conference. He just looked so disappointed. I mean, I get it. So, I hope Nick wins the Australian Open, because that'll be perfect, because he's from Australia. It's always great to see a player from their home country wins that tournament. That's happened to Ashley Barty at the Australian Open, which I could not believe she retired already. She's only, like 25? And she's done with tennis? Yeah. And she was world number 1. So, yeah. So after Nick lost, I wanted Frances to win the whole thing because, he was the last American left, And he beat Rafa Nadal in the round of 16. I could not believe it, It's awesome to see, an American player go this far. And then, who did he play against in the quarterfinals? Was it... No, it was... I forgot. But he won that match, too. And there was a highlight that they showed where he was running. He was running towards the bench, or his seat, when, the game is over. He just runs to his seat and he just sits right down, Some of you may know what I'm talking about. I forgot what match that was, but that was funny. He just sits right down. He just goes running to his seat and sits right down and take a break for a minute, I've never seen anyone like that. But man, Frances went all the way to the semifinals. That's amazing. How long has it been since that happened? Since an American player went all the way to the semifinals? I think it's been 2006. Yeah, I think it was Andy Roddick. Yeah, they were talking about that. So, yeah. Speaking of Americans, I want to go back to the women's side real quick. There was quite a few great American players on the women's side. You got Danielle Collins, Jessica Pegula, and Coco Gauff. Yeah, those are like the top 3 women's American players right now. And they all went to the quarterfinals, I think. And they all lost in the quarterfinals. Yeah, I wish that would have been cool if we had an all-American final. If that were to happen, I think it would have been Jessica Pegula versus Danielle Collins or Coco Gauff. Yeah. It all depends on the bracket. Because Jessica played against the number 1 player in the quarterfinals, which is the top of the bracket, you know. So, but they all had an amazing run. You know, they were all cheering for them heavily because, you know, it's USA. So, yeah. And remember, Jessica and Coco were a team in women's doubles, and I actually posted a video, and it's not copyrighted. You know how YouTube checks for the copyright stuff? It says checks found, or checks completed, no copyrights found. Hopefully YouTube won't delete that video the next day. You know, remember, I have a copyright strike. I currently have one still. It goes away less than a month, about 4 weeks from now. So, can't wait for that. Anyway, back to the men's side now. We gotta talk about this kid, this Spanish kid, Carlos Alcaraz. Holy hell. This kid is amazing. Seriously. Yo, this kid's amazing. He won 3 straight 5-set matches. 3 of them. And they all were at least 4 hours. They all ended very late, past midnight Eastern time. You know, I watched the end of all 3 of those. Unbelievable, right? 3 straight 5-set matches. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals. And he could have lost them all. He could have, but he didn't. He won them all. You know? Oh my gosh. This kid is the next big thing in tennis. Seriously, like, he was actually great last year. And, you know, his ranking was a lot lower, but still, he was like a upcoming star. And this year, he had a great run at the French Open, you know? And, wow. US Open comes. My goodness. He showed us that he is the next big thing. The next big thing has arrived, ladies and gentlemen, because Carlos Alcaraz is the 2022 US Open men's singles champion. I'm sorry if that was loud, but I just had to give this kid a round of applause, man. Holy hell, man, this kid is amazing. When I first heard about him at the French Open, I'm like, who the hell is this kid? Why is he so good all of a sudden? Wow! It's amazing. And the craziest part is, not only he's now the number 1 player in the world, he's only 19 years old. He's only 19 years old, and he's number 1 in the world right now. He's the youngest world number 1 player in history. Wow, man, that's crazy. It's always cool to see a finals, and the winner will be number 1, and the loser will be number 2, and that's what happened in that match. You know, Casper Ruud, he's another big star as well. I hope he wins one maybe next year. You know, I did not heard anything about this guy, Casper Ruud, until the French Open final. He's from Norway. He's like the first Norway player I've ever heard in tennis. You know? Because Norway's a cold-ass country. They're good in hockey and curling. But you got this great tennis player in Norway. You know? So, wow. Yeah. A men's final not featuring any of the big three. And yes, I know in 2020 there was a finals with none of the big three. I don't really count that because there was no crowd involved. There was no crowd. And plus, Rafa and Roger, they decided not to participate because of COVID. So that's why I can't count that. If COVID didn't exist, that would be different. So this year is different, you know. Oh my gosh, the crowd was so loud, man. I remember watching this highlight. Go watch the highlights of that match, that final match. Carlos is so fast. It's like this. How? How is he so good at just 19? My gosh, man. I can't even put in the words. You know, when he won that semifinal match, I kind of knew he was going to win the whole thing. And you know what? He deserved it. He did. Like I said, I'll show you the scores on those 3 set matches. Or those 3 5-set matches. Where is it? Alright, I'm gonna go to a new tab. Oh, yeah. NBC News just put... Yeah, look at that. That's history. Carlos Alcaraz has made history. Alright. Let's go to him. Okay, yeah, look at these final 4 matches. Round of 16 against Marin Cilic. He could have lost this one because it was 5 sets. Wow. Wow. It's kind of rare to see a... Well, to me, it's kind of unusual to see a 5-set match with no tie breaks in this round of 16. Then you get to the quarterfinals. Yeah, against Yannick Sinner. That's the match that ended. That one of the latest matches ever. I actually took a picture of the graphic that they had on ESPN from my phone. I'm gonna read what it says. Okay. Latest U.S. Open finishes. 2:27 a.m. Eastern Time, that match. That quarterfinal match between Sinner and Alcaraz. 2:27 a.m. My gosh. And after that, when the match ended and they interviewed the winner, they had SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. And Scott Van Pelt is in Eastern Time. Yeah, he can't do the show until the U.S. Open coverage has ended. Yeah. Wow. Oh. And that round of 16 match between Alcaraz and Cilic, that ended at 2:23 a.m. Eastern Time. 5 minutes earlier. Yeah. Alcaraz was in 2 matches that ended so late. Oh. And this was the 3rd longest U.S. Open match. 5 hours. Over 5 hours. Yeah. My gosh. It's crazy that, like, the round of 16 match, the quarterfinal match, and especially that semifinal match, they all felt like a final. I can't believe this kid won. Oh my gosh. Wow, man. This Wow. That's awesome. Wow. You know how Sports Center they will do like a end of the year show, all the greatest moments of this year's. This might be number one on the list. I think it will be. Man. And he said that you gotta believe in yourself all the time. You know, I mean, I like hearing that stuff. Good. He's being positive. Oh man, that is nuts. Um, I posted a comment on one of the U.S. Open highlight videos, and it got over 1,000 likes. And I'm not kidding. I'm not lying. I will show you that video or my comment where it has over 1,000 likes. So let's go. Actually, I can just go here, YouTube. Okay, now go to U.S. Open. YouTube channel. Oh, the press conferences. I haven't seen that yet. I'll check that out later. What match was it? Is it the, I think it was the semifinal match. Against Francis Tiafoe. Man, I felt bad for Francis when he lost that match. Man, I wish that was the final. That would have been awesome. Here it is. Wow, this video has over 1 million views. Alright. Here it is. Look at my comment. This is my comment. This kid won 3 straight 5-set matches. He looks like Novak and Rafa combined. He's unstoppable and just only 19 years old. Wow. Look at that. That is like my most liked comment ever. And so many people replied to it. Man, that's a screenshot right there. When you post a comment and it has over 1,000 likes, unbelievable. I did not expect that. But when I comment that it wasn't very long when the video got released. It was like 10 minutes after the video got posted. So if I posted that comment a few hours after the video was released, there's no way it would get this many likes and replies. No way, you know. Alright, I'm sorry that this video is long, but hope you guys don't mind. I just want to give you my thoughts about it. And now we can finally go to the Major Pick'em New York. See what I got right, what I got wrong. Here we go. Hey, I'm ranked 325. That's actually pretty good for me. Alright, men's singles championship. Only 3% pick Carlos Alcaraz. And yes, he was number 3 in the world, but he was only 19. That's why a lot of people didn't pick him. You know, Stefanos, I'm kind of surprised he only got 3%. However, he lost in the first round. That's a big upset. Daniil Medvedev was the defending champion. I'm surprised he didn't get many more than 17%. 76%, including myself, picked any other player. The women's singles championship, I got this one right. I'm also surprised that more people didn't pick Iga, you know. I think it's because we're so used to having almost a new champion. Like, go back to the U.S. Open 2017, and then the Australian Open 2018, French Open 2018, Wimbledon 2018, and so on until this year's U.S. Open. You can see how many different champions there were. That's probably why 66% picked any other player. All right, over slash or under 14.5 seeded players to lose in the men's and singles first round. I pick over, but the answer was under. Over or under 15 and a half men's singles matches to go to a fifth set in the first round. I pick under. 90% got this one right. Will Nick Kyrgios and Ons Jabeur both reach the third round? Yes, that's correct. Will either one seed in the men's and women's singles lose before the quarterfinals? When it says one seed, it's talking about the number one seed. And I got this one wrong because Daniil Medvedev lost before the quarterfinals to Nick Kyrgios. What will be Rafa Nadal's tournament result? I picked semifinalist or quarterfinalist because we're so used to him going this far, but he lost in the round of 16. That's one of his earliest loss at this tournament. So, yeah. You never know in tennis. It's hard. It is. What will be Serena Williams' tournament result? I pick any other result, and this was right. So, which of these players will advance the furthest? You know, these are always tough because any of them could have advanced the furthest. I picked Alina Rybakina because she won the Wimbledon earlier this year, but she lost in the first round. Taylor Fritz lost in the first round. Aryna Sabalenka went the farthest, and that was the choice that the least people picked. Another one of these, I picked Matteo Berrettini. I got that one right, but Andrei Rublev also made it far to the quarterfinals. So sometimes you can have, sometimes there's two correct answers. So, who will advance further? Cameron Norrie or Hubert Hurkacz? I can't pronounce that last name. Hurkacz. The reason why I picked Cameron Norrie is because I've never heard of Hubert. Yeah, I don't want to pick a player that I've never heard of. So, but I got this one right. Which country will have more players in the men's and women's singles quarterfinals? USA or Canada? 95% picked USA, including myself. The answer was correct. And the last one, will an unseeded player reach the men's or women's singles final? No. Although it has happened a lot, especially in the women's side, because we know the amount of upsets. And the tiebreaker, I've never answered these because I'm always way off. How many total games will be played in the men's and women's singles championship matches? The total amount was 61. All right. So I am 8-5. Well, which is not bad. Let's see the leaderboard. Did anyone get 0 incorrect? The top 3 people got 11-2. Let's see what they pick. You can also do this for Bowl Mania. Oh, this person got both the men's and singles championship incorrect. What's the third one that he got wrong? Oh, wait, no, it was just 2. My bad. Alright, what about this person? Oh, same thing. Oh, well, he picked Medvedev. Okay. And last one. Okay. So yeah, they'll also have this for the Australian Open next year, so I might do that again. And what I'm currently doing is this college pick'em. Yes, week 2 just ended, so every week until December 4th, you can make picks. Okay. I might have, if you want me to do a video of this every week, maybe not every week, but I'll do it. So, yeah, I'll just give you a quick look on what I got right and what I got wrong. Yeah, quite a bit of upsets. But yeah, they'll have this before the Bowlmania. They have one for Standard, and they have one for Confidence. Confidence, just like Bowlmania. So, it's 10 games. So, Johnny Talk Sports, if you ever want me to create a group that we can join together on this, let me know. But, yeah, I'm not in a group right now, so... Anyway, oh yeah, let's take a look at the current rankings at tennis. So, Carlos Alcaraz is moving up to number 1, and Casper Ruud is moving all the way up to number 2, from number 7 to number 2. So, yeah, this is crazy. And the women, Iga is just on a roll. I mean, look at that. Look at that. For 10,000 points. More than doubled than on Jabeur. How often does that happen? Like, hardly. Doubled the amount of points. Good gosh. Iga is so fast. Carlos is so fast. They're both so young. This is like the new era, the new generation. We can call it the Iga Alcaraz era. That sounds good, the Iga Alcaraz era. They should be doubles partners, mixed doubles for fun. Oh, and how do I go? Yeah. Here, you can see, here's all my favorites. My favorite players. Here, I'll have to make this bigger so you can see it better. There, see, look, these are all my favorite players. So yeah, I got quite a bit of baseball players right here. Few PGA. And look at all these tennis. Yep. There's the big 3. And big 4, because Andy Murray's there. And all these popular guys. Yep. And the women's. So yeah. Look at them all. There's so many. But they're all so great. And they got 3 retired ones at the bottom. And these are my favorite leagues. So. Alright, I think that's it. Wow, 43 minutes. I apologize if this video is too long. If you watch this whole thing, I also will give you a round of applause. You know? So. Oh, gosh, man. We're going to remember this for a long time. We will, man. Because last year, I've never heard of Alcaraz, and I've never heard of Casper Ruud. You know, and they were great players last year. Their rankings have skyrocketed to the top. Just like that. In just 1 year, they're already in the top 2. Wow. So, it's so hard, man, to put into words. Like, this kid is the U.S. Open champion. That's awesome. I think he might win the French Open next year if Rafa is unable to compete. Because he looked really good in the French as well. At Roland Garros, clay court. Oh, and most of us thought he wouldn't win after he won 3 straight 5-set matches because we all thought he would be tired. Speaking of tired and fatigue, when they interview him, he did not look like he was tired. He looked so chilled and relaxed, you know? He looks, yeah, I did say in that comment, he looks like Novak and Rafa together. Because Novak and Rafa, they don't get tired either. That's what it seems like, you know? And yes, I know who Roger Federer is. The reason why I didn't put his name is because he has a one-hand backhand. One-hand backhand. Carlos has two-hand backhand. So, speaking of Roger, he has not played all of this year. He's about to be 40. Oh, no, I think he's already 41. I hope he'll be back next year. And if, you know how I talked about Serena earlier, that was her final match, final tournament? I think the same thing's going to happen to Roger Federer next year. I don't know, because he's the same age, you know? We'll see. But he's also the greatest, you know? So, thank you for watching, and yeah, once in a while I'll talk about sports, so let me know what your thoughts are. Have a great night.